What was the relationship like between Suge Knight and Puff Daddy prior to the Atlanta incident?
I can't say that I've seen much of their interactions before Atlanta. Atlanta, I think you're speaking on when Jake was shot.
Yeah, he was
Suge
killed.
friend was shot and died there.
Yeah,
was
shot
killed
and
there.
killed,
I'm sure that became just after that, from them saying that it was a whole Puffy people and things like that. I think that's when the big animosity did start, because Jake was a very big piece to Death Row and to Suge's friendship as well.
Was you in Atlanta when that happened?
I was not.
So just tell me, what did you exactly hear about that incident?
I heard that they kind of got into it. Suge and Jake kind of got into it, and the inside was on some of Puffy people. And they went out to the limousine, went to get in the car, and the same guy kind of just basically upped on Jake. Jake was a big, tall dude. And he upped on him and shot him. And I think Jake died several days later, if I'm not mistaken.
The 95 Social Awards, take me through the entire day leading up to that award show.
I think we had just done a video or something. And after this video, Suge started telling everybody we're gonna go to New York. Back up. We're going to New York. I was used to it because Suge call you 10 minutes before a flight and get to the airport. We on our way out. Don't bring nothing. And I get to running. This time everybody got to packing up and going to New York. And I knew we were going to an award show, but didn't really know what award show. I think this was the Source first annual, or maybe this was the second time doing the show. And when we got there, like, you noticed how many people that Suge had bought. Like, we went. Probably it was about 150 of us that was in New York. And you felt the tension because I knew Suge was in the works of, I think at this time, trying to get Pac out of jail, and they were in conversation, and you kind of seen the kind of shit going up there. But when Suge was getting ready to go up on the stage, he told me, come on. No, he told me to come on before he went up, and I didn't really move, and one of the homies like, go. And, I'm excited. 15, 16 years old, I get up there, woo, I'm happy. But inside of me doing all this happiness and yelling and excited about being on TV, I'm hearing Suge say, and I'm thinking, if you tired of your CEO being all in the videos, and as I'm going, woo, all I'm thinking is, this nigga is talking to Puffy. What the fuck? And come to Death Row. The whole auditorium booed us. I never been moved or felt boos in the inside of my life. Like, you just would feel the bass from motherfucker, boo! You felt it from people being in unison. And, that's when Sue walked out and said, y'all ain't got no love for Death Row. And da-da-da-da-da-da. But it was really tight because of the security that we had to have when we got there. I mean, it was serious. It was serious.
What was the reaction from all the other Death Row artists when Suge Knight made them comments? Like, what was the immediate reaction from them?
I think everybody was always a little bit surprised, but I got to give it to them. When it was time to move, it was time to make a move. Like, if Suge was on some ignorant shit or whoever was on some ignorant shit, we moved as a unit. Whether we agreed with it or not. And I don't recall any of the other artists not agreeing with it out loud. That just wasn't a thing, again, that you would do out loud. Like, you hear a lot of people have their opinions now. Now that they're grown and Suge locked up, everybody have their opinions. The way that I talk in my opinions and the things that I would say to Suge, I said to him as a kid. And I think that's what kind of made him like me. Like, if something I didn't agree with, I'm going to tell him, nah, I don't want to do that. He'd be like, man, you need to go in the room. I'm not going in no room. I don't want to go, Anybody else, if he said go in the room, it was grown men walking in rooms because he said it. So I don't think they, like I said, if he said it and we was riding with it at that time, we were riding with him.
Right. The performance. Death Row performed at that award show. They actually had a cardboard cutout of Tupac in one of the cells, right? Who idea was that?
I can't really say I know who came up with that idea. But again, like I said, I knew Suge was in talks of getting Pac out of jail. Because we were going to visit him.
While you was in New York for the Source Awards, that's the first time you met Mary J. Blige and Puff Daddy baby mama Misa, right?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I met after the award show, we went up to the room. I forgot what hotel that it was. But Suge would always have the biggest room in the damn building, the presidential suite. And I was in the room and Suge called me. He said, come upstairs for a minute. And my god brother was there with me. He said, come up by yourself. So when he said that, it's either it's another girl upstairs for me or somebody probably finna get their ass whooped upstairs, something. I don't know what's going on. So I'm like, oh man, here we go. I get up to the room and it's a table full of girls sitting around the table. And they all eating, everybody eating, and they ordering food, and some of the homies are in the room. And Misa's sitting there. Misa is Puffy's baby mother. Devontae's one of Devontae's baby mama, and I think Casey's baby mama was up there. No, it wasn't. It was Devontae's baby mama and Mary and a couple other chicks that was at the table. And we talking and we drinking. And you know, I'm kind of excited again. I'm from the west side of Chicago, and who doesn't look up to Mary J. Blige as like, you know, one of the queens, you know, of that time. She's a queen of R&B at that time, at least in the hood. And we up there chilling, and drinking. And I think after I left for a little while, we was talking. I think I left out, and Suge called me back up to the room. He said, come back upstairs, man. Old girl want to see you. Fuck is old girl? I'm thinking one of the other girls that was at the table. And I get up there to the room. Suge's in his room, and Misa's sitting on the bed with a sheet wrapped around her. You know, and you can kind of see like her nice body, and she got this sheet wrapped around her. And Mary's sitting on the couch. So I know the girl that he in the bed with don't want me. So I went in, he closed the door and shit, and I sit down and I start talking to Mary. And the inside, I'm about to lose it, because I'm actually sitting here talking to Mary. She's sitting on the couch and shit, and we ordered some food and some more drinks. And somebody knocked on the door. She ran and kind of damn near jumped behind the couch hiding. I'm looking like, what your problem is? And she make sure that's not K. K. You know, and I'm like, oh, man, I don't care. You know, I'm talking to him. I don't care who he is. You ain't got to be running and jumping and did it. But she was actually talking about KC. She was thinking that KC she had like this postpartum type, you know, the shit that people in the army probably go through when they hear bangs. Like when it came to KC at that time.
Right.
You know, and she's sitting on the couch and shit. I'm like, you know, you ain't got to worry about him. You know, you straight. You did it like, I'm 15, 16 years old. And she laying on the couch. And I'm sitting on the other end, and she laid down on the couch and put her head in my lap. I'm like, damn. He can't be talking about Mary was talking about she wanted me to come back up here, and now she on my lap. And I'm sitting there and I'm wondering, I'm like, okay, what is this gonna end up to? And she stayed a couple more hours. And we decided to go in the other room because it was a suite. We went in the other room and laid down. And she laid down with me, and she kind of like backed up against me, and every time she backed up against me, I would move away and shit, you know? And from that time, I had an opportunity to go out to New York and visit her a couple more times. Well, you know, that's why I was kind of confused when I heard Kurt saying that Mary was Pot Girl. Because at that time, she was my girl. At that time, I'm 15, 16 years old, and she flying me in to see her And you know what it is when a girl back up on you, you young and shit, and I'm trying to show her that she ain't phasing me. I'm hard as goddamn. She's backing up against me. This Mary J. Blige. And quite naturally, I mean, you know, I don't even know if you're supposed to say you had sex with people on camera. Anyway, whatever. I'm not quite sure, but
Relations.
yeah, we had relations. That's a good way.
Right.
That's a good way to put it out. And I said it in the book, and I was, you know, I was saying it because it was my Instagram moment. I should say before Instagram came out, or that was my moment. That was my social media moment to be able to say that in the book. Because had it been cameras or something around, or being able to make a post, I probably would have tried to make it something very serious with her, especially after being there more than 5 times.
And you kept in contact with Mary J. Blige after that, right?
I did, for sure. For sure, she would fly me in sometimes, and I'd fly down to see her. And my last time seeing her in New York was I was on my way to work with Devontae in Rochester, New York.
Tell me about that.
Well, Suge wanted me to go down to New York to work with Devontae. At this time, Devontae was running the Basement. His crew was called the Basement, and they were down in Rochester. And he had Timberland and Magoo, Missy. Missy was a part of the group Sister. I think it was Missy and Tweet. And my boy Genuine. Shout out to Genuine. He had all those artists down there, and I just went down there to do some records with him and had an opportunity on my way to fly down there to stay for about a month or so. Mary kind of tricked me. She tricked me when I missed my flight to go up to Rochester. I flew into New York, and I was supposed to fly out to Rochester. I stayed with her that night, and went to Rochester and had an opportunity to cut some great records with Devontae Swing.
So you was messing around with Mary J. Blige before Tupac, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So
Unless he messed with her back before he went to jail.
So when did Tupac come in the picture?
Pac came in the picture a little bit after the Source Awards.
Yeah, I'm talking about like Mary J. Blige. Like how did that
I think
come
that
about?
was like, you know, when Pac came around and got out of jail, everybody wanted Pac. All of the girls wanted him, everybody wanted to be around him. You know what I mean? And you kind of notice, you know, the girls hanging around, but I can't say that I know for sure that Pac fucked Mary. I can't say that for sure.
Did you hear about it?
Nah, if they did, you know, and I wouldn't put it past again, because she'll kind of like, you know, connect me with her. So did he connect Pac with her? He probably did. They wasn't gonna tell me though, because I was I'm sure in my little feelings, or I would have been in my feelings about it.